All right. We talk about the risk factors that you can do something about. These are the modifiable risk factors, and the ones you can't do anything about. And those are the non-modifiable ones. Let me just briefly talk about the non-modifiable ones. You can't do anything about the fact that you are getting older. So the older you are, the more likely you are to get a stroke. Okay? Blacks, race, we black are more likely to have a stroke.
Let us pause there for a while. Why blacks?
Well, it's not really clear exactly why, but it's also the same reason why the Caucasians are more likely to have heart attack.
Than the blacks?
Than the blacks.
Okay.
And
so, MS, things like multiple sclerosis, right?
Well, I really can't say. It's more like a reporting issue, because we're seeing a lot of MS.
We're seeing some of that here.
Yes.
But anyway, back to the strokes. Age is a factor.
Yeah.
Skin color is a factor. And what else?
So if you've had a stroke before, you can't do anything about that. That's also one that you can do.
That's another factor.
It's another factor.
So someone who's had a previous stroke is more likely to have another stroke.
Yes, or a previous TIA, the transient ischemic attack that you mentioned. Yeah. So if you have a family history of strokes, you can't change your family. Okay. But the ones that we can do something about, that's the one that we should really talk about more. One of the leading risk factors for stroke is hypertension. The higher your blood pressure goes, the more likely you are to have a stroke.
What can you do about that?
So you can try to reduce your blood pressure. You should be checking your blood pressure regularly, at least every 6 months to 1 year if you are not hypertensive as an adult. The reason is because 1 in 4 Nigerians have a high blood pressure. So you need to check, definitely, yes. So you need to check your blood pressure regularly. And if for every 10 millimeters of mercury above 120, systolic blood pressure of 120, you are more likely, your risk of stroke doubles.
Okay, so
it's better
how about
you just
reduction in salt intake?
Definitely.
Like that?
So if you find out that you have a high blood pressure, in fact, even before you find out that you have a blood pressure, you should have a healthy lifestyle.
Okay.
Making sure that
I really need to stop you there, or we'll just keep going. We're going on a break, and then we'll come back for a more interesting session. Okay. Just hang there with us. We're going on a break. Remember, after the break is when you get a chance to call in with your questions, and if your tweets coming in time, those could be taken too. Give us a minute.
Don't you wish your mommy was fine like mine? Yeah. Don't you wish your mommy was smart like mine? Yeah. Don't you? Yeah. Don't you wish your mommy could cook like mine? Yeah. Don't you wish your mommy was fit like mine? Yeah. Don't you? Don't you wish your mommy could laugh like mine?
And that's why every mom should take 3 Crowns milk with low cholesterol to help stay fit and healthy so she can take extra care of her family. 3 Crowns milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
Don't you wish your wifey was hot like mine?
3 Crowns now comes in powder.
Welcome back. We're still talking about stroke, and hey, they say that we can even try and prevent it. That's what we're trying to find out here. You can call in. The number to call is 0808-054-2233. That's 0808-054-2233. We're talking about modifiable risk factors. So, modifiable risk factors, high blood pressure, we can do something about it. What else is modifiable?
Obesity and overweight.
Okay.
Okay. So obese people are at risk of stroke more than people that are of normal body. Yeah. So what should you do? If you should check your weight, try and calculate your body mass index, and try and keep within the normal range. Okay. The healthy lifestyle, you need to start exercising, taking good food, eating fruits, eating vegetables, and try and keep your weight within normal. Now, another risk factor that is very important is diabetes. Diabetes also increases the risk of stroke. So it's better to, if you're diagnosed to have diabetes, you need to try and keep your blood sugar within the normal limit. Okay. Now, cigarette smoking is very important.
That is always a culprit.
It's implicated in virtually every bad thing. you know. So if anybody that smokes should stop smoking. If you have problems smoking, you need to come and seek help so that we can get you to stop so that you don't have a stroke. Okay. Now, heart conditions.
We're getting a phone call, so we need to hang on a minute.
Okay.
Shegun is calling. Olusegun, welcome to the show. What's your question? Hello?
Yeah.
What's your question?
Yeah. Afternoon.
Good afternoon. Go ahead, we can hear.
Yes, my question is, can regular indulgence in sex cause stroke?
Okay, there you go.
Well, that's an interesting question.
Yeah, but you know, it could be a concern.
Yeah, well, I have questions. What do you mean by regular, and what is your pre-existing condition? Okay, if you have like a pre-existing heart, or I mean, if you have a high blood pressure and you indulge in sex and your blood pressure goes up during that period, if the pipe bursts, then you could have a hemorrhage.
Okay, so it has to do with how fit you are at the time.
Probably, okay. But stroke is a condition that could happen anytime if you have the risk factors, okay? The sexual activity itself is not
a
cause of, you know, but you need to have a predisposition. Okay. You know, so there are some people that while preaching or while talking and shouting, the blood vessel in their brain suddenly bursts. And
okay, so could we just put it down to stress?
So
too much stress or excitement?
Yes, exactly. You know, if somebody is suddenly excited and he already had the predisposition, there are people that are walking around with blood pressure of 250, 140.
And they are walking
around.
Some would have collapsed with that.
Exactly. So while you are walking around with 250, 140, and then something excites you, maybe you've been playing with the threshold of your blood vessel bursting, and then something excites you. It could be a fight, it could be anything. You know, the vessel could just burst, and you could have.
How about alcohol? Is that implicated in this?
Definitely, alcohol too is implicated. Binge drinking in particular increases the risk of stroke.
Could you just explain binge drinking to us?
Binge, when you take large quantities of alcohol at a time.
Okay.
Okay? So it can lead to a stroke, particularly the bleeding type of stroke.
Okay.
The hemorrhage.
We're having a phone call coming in again. Hello. Could you speak up a bit?
Can I hear you?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, we can hear you fine now.
Okay. I'm calling from Lagos. My name is Olagide Banjo. I'm calling from Lagos.
Okay.
Could you go ahead with your question?
It's 2009. After about 3 years, I'm having swelling on my left leg. I went to the